Hello everyone. We will proceed with our 22nd chapter, Rulers and Buildings. Today we will discuss about the imperial style of the Vijayanagara. The city of Vijayanagara was developed by the Rayas to act as the imperial capital of the entire South India. Thus they wanted it to reflect all the important imperial buildings traditions. They built large temples for Sri Viruprakasha, Ramachandra and Krishna using a style that has been developed by Cholas and Pandya emperors of Tamil Nadu. Now during Vijayanagara period, if you remember, Vijayanagara kingdom was established by two brothers, Harihara Raya and Bukkaraya. Now when these two brothers they established Vijayanagara kingdom, they wanted to reflect or they wanted to show the imperial buildings or traditions. Now these buildings, they have built many temples, especially for Sri Viruprakasha and Ramachandra and Krishna, and the style, imperial style, they have developed by copied the style of Cholas and Pandyas who were emperors of Tamil Nadu. This include the Vimanas and the Gopurams. The Rayas paid special attention to the Gopurams, which were now built on a scale and height as never before. It consisted of the first floor, usually built of solid granite, and a series of upper floors made of brick and chunnam. These structures of immense scale must have been a mark of imperial authority that often drafted the towers on the central shrine and signaled the presence of the temple from a great distance. Now, when they were constructing their temples, they have paid special attention to Vimanas and the Gopurams. Now, Gopurams, they are the top or the roof of the central hall or the structure. Now, Gopurams, they were built on a large scale and it was constructed at a very great height which was never done before. It consisted of first floor which was made up of granite and series of upper floors, that is many other floors were built up using brick and chunnam. Now these towers or these temples were so high that from a distance everybody can see that there is a temple. They were also probably meant as reminder of power of kings able to command the resource, technique and skill needed to construct these towering gateways. Other distinctive features include mandapas or pavilions and long pillared corridors that often ran around the shrine within the temple complex. The Viruprakasha temple was built over many centuries, while inscriptions suggest that the earliest shrine dated to 9th or 10th century. It was substantially enlarged with the establishment of the Vijayanagara Empire. Now these shrines or the Gopurams which they were constructing at a very great height, and it showed the power of the king and the command of the resources, whatever the king was having, the command of king over the resources and the techniques and the skills which were used to construct such high towers. Now, other than Gopurams, mandapas or pavilions or long pillared corridors were there which were around the main shrine, that is around the main hall of the temple. And the Viruprakasha temple that was built many centuries ago, it suggests that the shrine is dated around 9th or 10th century, and this was enlarged during the Vijayanagara Empire. The hall in front of the main shrine was built by Krishnadeva Raya to mark his accession. It was decorated with delicately carved pillars. He is also credited with the construction of Eastern Gopuram. These additions meant that the central shrine came to occupy a relatively small part of the complex. The halls in the temples were used for a variety of purposes. Now the hall in front of the main shrine, that is the main temple, it was built by Krishnadeva Raya to mark his accession. That is, he wanted to show that he became the king now. And it was made by the pillars there were delicately carved and decorated, and he was credited with the construction of Eastern Gopuram also. That is, there was a main hall and its roof was known as Gopuram. There were many other halls also in the complex of the temple, and those halls were used for variety of purposes. Some of the halls were spaces in which the images of gods were placed to witness special programs of music, dance, drama, etc. Others were used to celebrate marriages of deities, yet others were meant for showing the distinct from those kept in the small central shrine. While the Vijayanagara rulers built these temples on the Tamil Nadu model, they also built elaborate secular royal buildings which were modeled on the style and technique of the Sultanate architecture. Now, some halls they were used for keeping the images of gods, and they used to have some special programs like music, dance, and drama to please the god. Other halls they were used to celebrate the marriages of the deities, and other halls they were meant to keep the replica of their deities. Replica of the deities were kept in some different halls, and it was kept in the small shrine. Now, Vijayanagara rulers, they built temples according to the style of the Pandyas and Cholas or Tamil Nadu rulers, whereas the royal buildings which they constructed, it was by the technique of the Sultanate architecture. The famous Lotus Mahal, named so by British visitor. So, Lotus Mahal is the name given by a British visitor. Queen's Bath and the Elephant Stables are example of this style. They were covered with chunnam plaster and decorated with elaborate floral and bird designs. It appeared that the king and their nobles lived in these buildings and displayed their wealth and cosmopolitan taste. However, these buildings did not just copy the designs of Sultanate buildings, they combined designs and features of southern temples with the arches and domes. The best example for this style is in the Lotus Mahal, which was probably a place where the king held their meetings. Now, buildings like Lotus Mahal, Queen's Bath, and Elephant Stable, they are examples of Sultanate architecture. They were built with chunnam plaster and decorated with floral and bird designs. Floral designs means flowers. So, it appears that the kings and nobles lived in these buildings and they displayed their wealth through these buildings, and the combined feature of southern temples, they have combined the structure or the architecture of South India, that is Tamil Nadu, which was taken from Cholas and Pandyas kingdom, and the Sultanate kingdom also, that is the dome shaped structures. Here you can see picture of Lotus Mahal. See the arches there, the pillars, the roof, how they have carved. This is Queen's Bath. Here also you can see arches, the roof, the pillars. This is Elephant Stable. You can see the arches here again, the dome shaped structure, the roof. These things were copied or taken from the Sultanate architecture. The most impressive remain of Vijayanagara, the Mahanavami Dibba, is a high platform of 55 feet, that is as tall as 5-floor buildings and spread over 11,000 square feet in area. Its height was increased at least 3 times during 200 years. The sides of the platform were covered with sculptures of various kinds. It did not have any complete building on the top. The platform was covered by cloth shamiana on pandal supported by wooden pillars. The Vijayanagara kings held their Navratri Puja and Dashera court on this platform. All their subordinate chiefs, nayakas, and officers paid their tributes to the emperor in these programs. Ambassadors from Europe and other sultanates also attended the festivals. Now, there is a great structure named Mahanavami Dibba. You can see the picture here. This is a high platform of 55 feet, that is approximately around 5-storied building, and it is spread over an area of 11,000 square feet. Its height was increased at least 2 times in 200 years, and the sides of the platform were covered with sculptures, and this building does not have any top, that is, roof is not there. Now, all the important functions were held on this platform. It was covered with shamiana, with wooden pillars, and the Vijayanagara kings used to hold Navratri Puja, Dashera, and other programs. They used to keep it on this platform, and the chiefs, nayakas, and officers, they used to pay tributes to the emperor in these programs. Ambassadors from Europe and other sultanates also attended these festivals here. Today we have learnt about imperial style of Vijayanagara period. Homework: explain the structure of Mahanavami Dibba. Please write this answer minimum in 10 points. Describe imperial style of construction of Vijayanagara period. This also try to write in 8 to 10 points. Thank you.